What's up, guys? We're back for what's probably going to be the final week here in fantasy football setup going on. Just the year starting to wind down. I may or may not make the playoffs in some leagues, but I definitely took too many big swings and lost on it this year. One of those being, of course, Jonathan Brooks and all that. Nick Chubb came back later as well. Of course, we won last week by a 30-point victory, 6-8. I don't know if there's going to be too much. Pollard. And yeah, they could be forced to abandon the run. He is dealing with an injury. Not really, I feel like, too many reasons to make moves here. We might move the Buccaneers and Ravens defense around. We can actually drop that, but there's almost no point to it. Dobbins and Diggs going to IR definitely hurt us a little bit here and there. And then, of course, freaking Jonathan Brooks re-tears his ACL, which is just a heartbreak. We're going to put Henry back up in there. Do I trust them or do I keep moving on with Addison, Puka? I feel like Puka is going to have a big day. Let's probably move Tucker back in there. Even though Tucker has struggled, I'm still going to believe in him. I feel like the only one I'm really thinking about is possibly DJ Moore. But supposedly he's got a good matchup. Wide receivers versus the Vikings. Pretty solid numbers, so I guess I'll stick with it. Wonder what's going on over there. I haven't been watching it up. Oh, excuse me, Vikings football. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, we're going to leave that as is. Move over to the next team in our ESPN league. I think this is the one with locked in Ravens. Yeah, so I don't think we're making the playoffs on this side either. Move Lamar back into the starting lineup. Chase Brown had a good week. Did we win this week? Oh, what the hell? I guess he gave up on the league. That's kind of sad. I won with like no fucking points. That or he didn't plan for his bye weeks at all. Jackson Smith and Jiva's having really big games. Like what I've seen from Leggett. Dude, Kyle Pitts needs to go into freaking jail for what he's doing. Everyone is so against him, even though it's supposed to be his bounce back week, playing a defense that gives up points to tight ends. It just Oh, excuse me. What up, David? Let me see. Is Tank going to get carries? Predicted 11. I want to get Jackson Smith and Jiva in there. See, Pollard's questionable, but he's getting out touched so bad right now. And they might get behind. So I feel like that's where I'm. Do I make it for Bigsby? I think I do. Let's see. Returns. Okay. Yep. So he's outpacing Etienne. Okay. That's what we like to see. Brown had a pretty good week last week. Jameson should have a lot. Man, tight ends actually what I need. Do I trust Garrett Wilson though? Or do I trust in Jackson Smith and Jiva? That's a tough one. So he's predicted to get 14.5. Well, Garrett's predicted to get 16. I guess I'll just keep relying on Garrett. It's third 100-yard game of the season, so there's not really a lot of reasons to make changes there. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting into the playoffs in this one. Can I check the playoff? Not sure where on this one to go check the playoffs. Guess it'd be league schedule. What up, Daniel Barry? How y'all doing today? This is going to actually be the last fantasy football show of the season. Man, we're dead last over there. Oh, wait, no, that was week 2. I want to see. That's not what I'm looking for. Standings. There we go. I don't even know what the playoffs are going to look like here. So it looks like 6 teams get in. 5 and 9 need to be at 8 and 6, so don't have a chance in this one either. I think it's gonna be the first, but it's gonna be honest. I was running so many leagues. I feel like I didn't give any league the proper attention it truly needed. Is the one part I'm a little sad about, but at the end of the day, it's 100% my own fault. Let's max this out if we can. So it maxes out at 200, really. All right, let's take a look here. We got my poetically speaking team over here. Jared Goff, Aaron Jones, questionable. Oh my God, I just hit my foot. Oh my God. I am still recovering from the cut on my foot from like almost 2.5 weeks ago where I gashed my foot open. 2-step into some Kendrick GNX album. And it was like borderline needs stitches almost. And God, it still isn't healed up all the way correctly. I'm still got giant bandages on my foot, like with moleskin on top of it for padding. Man, limited. He's battled a lot. That's going to be tough. We got Bigsby, Amon St. Brown. Juanu's been going off for me. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Kyle Pitts, got to make that move. Problem is who do I give it up for? Oh, it's got to be Cameron Sutton. I forgot he was on bye week last week. Let's see. Man, we've got plenty good wide receivers. Running backs became the big issue in this league by far. Put my Baltimore defense back in there. I don't think I really need to even add free agents because this is our last week in our league before the playoffs start. So I don't even think I'm going to run through my other team. Well, let's see. Versus. There it is. Matchups for the league. Joe Stevens is going after me, so he doesn't end the league in dead last. Let's see. Carcast is predicted to win his matchup. Captain's going to win. Oh, he's actually predicted to lose. Captain's, I think, one of the number 1 seeds going into the playoffs. Sponge team predicted to beat 49er Media by a good chunk. All good stuff. There it is. Team 3 kickers. The team I took over after I kicked a guy from the league. Yeah, I mean, I got to put a linebacker in. Other than that, though, basically fine over there. Let me see. Where's the standings? Patrick Taylor's trending up 129,000. Isaiah Davis, the running back for the Jets from South Dakota. Or, I'm sorry, North Dakota. No, it was South Dakota. Jackrabbit. Now I'm confused. I'm like, is he North Dakota or South Dakota? All those make a lot of sense. Bigsby being another big ad makes a lot of sense. Desmond Ridder, of course, going to get the start out there in Las Vegas. Another big thing to keep an eye on. Sean Tucker getting some carries down there in Tampa as well. Interesting. Stone Smart, the tight end from LA, plus 30,000 additions, only rostered on 2% of league rosters. He's set for a significant bump in playing time with Will Disley's shoulder likely out for multiple weeks. Hayden Hurst hip technically eligible to turn off IR by week 16, but they've given zero updates on his health. Basically, Stone Smart looks like he has the opportunity to be tight end number one. He put up 11 points against KC, so this has got to be like the find of the week. If you're looking for a tight end in your league, like that's probably not rostered, Stone Smart, LA Chargers, number 84, 6'4", 226, Old Dominion product. Hey, shout out to Old Dominion. Small school, but they've been putting out some guys. Wow, Sincere McCormick? Wow, that's wild. They're really not going to give Kimani Vidal a chance over there. That's just tragedy. Absolute tragedy. All right, so that's the standing. There we go. So our fantasy football league was split into two divisions, which I kind of regret not setting it up more for the divisional. But the way it is the top 6 teams get in and the bottom 8 fight for the shit bowl. I should have made it 7-7, but I also don't want it to seem like I'm favoring anybody really kind of deal. Excuse me. God, my throat is so itchy. So leading the entire league, Cahill, 9-5 record. He's got a large amount of points for, might have one of the highest points against as well. So Cahill had a great season, 9-5. Sydney Miller, Kyle's wife, coming in 8-6. Lil Spongy, 7-7. Chimera, 7-7. And then me at 6-8, tied with NFL Kyle as well. DeGoat Rick coming in as the loser of the Eastern Division. He, on the Eastern side, led the league. As you can see, like the little shit, it probably doesn't show you. I hate that I can't zoom in more for y'all. Let's see, will it do it a little better like that? A little better like that. Fuck my camera. Technically, DeGoat Rick had the most points scored against him in the league, so that's always, or at least the division, which is always going to be rough. I think that actually might be the league because I don't see on the positive side. Of course, on the west side, AD, the Pax fan, 9-5 record, so tied with K Hill. But also Tig for the win, Carcast and Captain Niner is one of those ones. The western side of the division was so much stronger this year. Pac fan, Tig, Captain Niner, and Lambo, 9-5, 9-5, 9-5, 8-6. Then there's Joe Stevens, me, and 49er Media, which this is the team that I took over for 3 kickers, aka Team 3 Kickers, all tied for 5-9 at the end of the league. Let's see, who got the most points for? 21-20. 80 Pac fan got the most points for by literally like 10 points over Carcast. But the difference is 80 Pac fan with that 9-5 record had almost 200 points more scored against him in that league. So he did not have an easy fight. Yeah. Joe Stevens had it rough. He scored like 100 more points than me and 49er Media on those two teams, but he had a good bit more points put up against him. Captain Niner walked into a little bit of luck this season. The points for 2105, which is one of the higher counts in the league, but his points against 1735, that's like the lowest in the league. So somehow Captain Man just got a little bit of luck, but the points for show he also had a really good team. But the best 6 get into the playoffs. So we've got 80 Pac fan. He's got a first round bye. He'll take on the winner as it stands now between Captain Niner and Sydney Miller. Cahill's got the first round bye on the other side of the bracket. He's going to face the winner of Lambo Legend and Tig for the win. So going to be a fun one. But of course, like we talked about, we have what's called the toilet bowl in the sleeper app. So even though you're out of the playoffs, that doesn't mean your season is over. You're trying to not be the shit king, aka last place. So the losers will continue to fight in their playoff brackets to the end of the season to try to not be the shit king, basically. I've got Joe Stevens as it stands in the first round, and then my boy Chimera on my other team. So It's gonna be a fun one. I probably won't be streaming fantasy football anymore, and then, we'll have Jackbox Gaming, of course, on, Friday, but more than likely, once the football season ends, I'm probably gonna go ahead and pull the plug, at least for this season, on Jackbox Gaming as well. Um, just because, like, case in point, even doing this show and Jackbox, I paid for StreamYard for it all, and just to save money, I'm probably not gonna pay for StreamYard or anything else, that late after the season's over, so that'll be the end of that for at least for this season, but we should have, like, what is it, week 15? So we've got 3 more weeks of shows basically, then maybe the playoffs. But I appreciate all y'all for coming to hang out. Honestly, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna do this show today. It's just, I was already, like I said, it was gonna be like the last show of the season. I've missed a couple of weeks between like having to do overnight work, neck issues, and the bye week. So it's one of those ones I was even debating doing this show in the first place. But I was like, you know what? It's just better off to do that one final show, at least have it on record that it's, my last show of the season for fantasy football. And, kind of just to thank everyone that came in throughout the season that was a part of these shows. Uh, Honestly, I had better responses to some of the shows than I originally thought I was. We actually had, especially when we were broadcasting to Twitter too, which of course, I stopped paying for my Twitter membership as well. Um, we actually got a good amount of people coming in and asking us a lot of great questions, trade questions, lineup questions, which was the whole real focal point of the show is to try to, help other people, bring a bunch of people together to try to, have great conversations about fantasy football and make those calls. So, special shout out to everyone that's been coming in all these weeks. David McNiner still here in the chat, just getting his stuff. Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jeebus. He's been coming back. Like I said, they're finally starting to move the offense through him a little bit. But good luck to the 49ers again. Like I said, I want y'all to win just so that it'll come down to like the very end of the season for your division. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. It's not like your team doesn't have talent. 49ers have had a wild season and the injury bug, brutal. Like it's hard to fight the injury bug, Oh gosh. But fingers crossed, guys. I met a guy the other day at the gym. I talked about it on our show last night. He's got like a brother or cousin that's been working for the Miami Dolphins for the past 8 years. And we were just shooting the shit at the gym, some really great conversations. And I was talking about how much I love football and what I do and stuff. And he's like, well, and I told him, I was like, well, actually, I applied for the Miami Dolphins last year for a couple different positions, but of course, never heard from them. And he was like, well, it's all about who you know. And, basically told me just let him know and he'd put in a word. And his like I said, it's a brother or his cousin, but he works, I think, on the equipment staff. Like basically what I think he does is he actually is the guy that makes all the jerseys for game day, like, puts all their names, numbers on and, which not an exciting job, but at the same time, God, dude, anything just to get the foot in the door with an NFL organization. That's all I want, man. And if it could be something like that related to game day prep, oh yeah, all about it, man. I would drive the 2 hours to Miami every single day, basically, to get to that job. And that's why I was talking to the girlfriend. I was like, and the thing is, it's probably just more of a seasonal job. Once the season's done, probably don't have anything to do. David says losing too many games early takes him until week 14 to get back the kicker to playing what the 49ers are built for. Quarterback under center 50-50 run pat. And that's what it should be, man. Like even I said there were a couple times where I felt like Kyle Shanahan was getting too cute with his play calling. Like, don't get me wrong, I really respect Kyle Shanahan's play calling, his ability to build offenses and systems. Like, dude's a good coach. But I think he needed somebody to check him a little bit, be that voice of reason. And The way you make it sounds like over the past few weeks they kind of didn't Brock Purdy miss a game too? Wasn't it Purdy and Bosa missed a game, if I remember correctly? I think that was the week I picked them to win the game. The news came out. I was like, oh shit, I should text David and tell him I want to switch my pick. And of course, y'all did lose that game. I think it was to Green Bay, if I remember correctly. But absolutely wild. But I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and head out of here. Not gonna be a long show today. Not like we have any viewers anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing it. I might do a lot more in this off season, like draft and team building stuff. But we'll see how the playoffs go. We'll see how the off season stuff goes a little bit, and then I might make a choice on my channel here not too long. But I appreciate y'all. I'm heading out, and I'm probably gonna go play some games. Not a gym day, so I'm just gonna go relax, eat some food, go see what the food truck's up to, and go take my dog for a good walk. But peace out, guys. Later, David. I appreciate you coming in, my boy. And we'll see y'all tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern for Jackbox Gaming. Later, guys.